Why in the world would good conservatives vote for crazy stuff like what we've been seeing out of Congress?
That is House Republican Tim Burchett of Tennessee. And on the Benny Show podcast, the congressman answered his own question. MTN headline, Rep. Burchett, conservatives in Congress compromised by hookers and drugs.
It's how it works. You're visiting, you're out of the country or out of town, or you're in a motel or bar in D.C., and whatever you're into, women or men or whatever, comes up and they're very attractive and they're laughing at your jokes and you're buying them a drink. Next thing you know, you're in the motel room with them naked. And next thing you know, you're about to make a key vote.
You are about to make a key vote as in, oh, you're talking about a vote in Congress, not your choice while naked or naked, as we say. Keep going.
What happens? Some well-dressed person comes up and whispers in your ear, hey, man, there's tapes out on you. Were you in a motel room on whatever with whoever? And then you're like, uh-oh, and said, you really ought not be voting for this thing. I mean, and what do? It's human nature. And, no man or no woman actually is an island, and they know what to get at. If it's women, drugs, booze, it'll find you in D.C. and in most elected offices. And that's what people of power and influence do. And it's just, I've been in this game my whole life. I spent 16 years in the state legislature in Tennessee and 8 years as a county mayor. And now I'm in my 5th year of Congress. But it's just, the stakes are higher, but the game is still the same.
The game is the same? Aren't the drugs, booze, and hookers higher quality when you get to Congress? In all seriousness, any of us who have lived and worked in media and politics in Washington, D.C. know there's a seamy and often X-rated aspect to the lobbying of members of Congress. The honeypot tactics are real. However, it's very unusual to hear a Republican lawmaker blow the whistle like this on other Republican lawmakers. It makes you wonder if Tim Burchett has any friends in Congress or should watch his back now with any colleagues he considers friends. How does that saying go? Snitches get stitches? To be fair, the allegations about Republican moral hypocrisy and wild extramarital sex, those allegations have been made before. Most recently, George Santos, the Republican congressman from New York, recently expelled, said the dirty laundry among Republicans is extensive, and Santos has pledged to start airing it soon on his own podcast. I'll sign up for that. Last year, former Congressman Madison Cawthorn on the Warrior Poet Society podcast detailed his own experiences.
The sexual perversion that goes on in Washington, I mean, being kind of a young guy in Washington, with the average age is probably 60 or 70, and I look at all these people, a lot of them that I've looked up to through my life. I've always paid attention to politics, guys that, then all of a sudden you get invited to, like, well, hey, we're going to have kind of a sexual get-together at one of our homes. You should come. And I'm like, what did you just ask me to come to? Yeah. And then you realize they're asking you to come to an orgy. Yeah. Or the fact that, there's some of the people that are leading on the movement to try and remove addiction in our country, and then you watch them do, a key bump of cocaine right in front of you, and it's like, wow, this is wild. And then there's also kind of the whole espionage aspect to what goes on in Washington of, so many people trade in secrets, and there's a currency to secrets, and so.
In other words, some lawmakers are leading secret lives. It's amazing, though, how many of these lawmakers are Bible-thumping Republicans. They speak out against LGBTQ+, claim to stand for family values, endorse legislation taking away women's reproductive rights, and sign off on efforts to ban sexually suggestive books. And yet, these same conservative lawmakers are having extramarital affairs, participating in drug and alcohol-soaked orgies, and happily selling their votes in Congress to the highest bidder or to whoever will help them keep their hypocrisy a secret. And you wonder why so many Americans hate Congress and are convinced Republican lawmakers only care about having power? It's because that is often true. And it's not just in Washington, D.C.
People are not buying the extreme agenda pushed by the Democrat Party.
That is Florida Republican Party Chair Christian Ziegler. He is married to Sarasota School Board member Bridget Ziegler, a founder of the conservative group Moms for Liberty.
Who's ready to take back their school boards so that we get rid of the woke and start serving our families?
But the Zieglers, who claim to stand for family values and are close with Governor Ron DeSantis, have a problem. Headline, Florida GOP Chair Christian Ziegler, husband of Moms for Liberty co-founder, accused of sexual battery by alleged menage a trois lover. Quote, Christian Ziegler, Florida's GOP chairman and husband of Sarasota County School Board member and Moms of Liberty co-founder Bridget Ziegler, is under criminal investigation after a woman filed a complaint with the Sarasota Police Department alleging the longtime Republican official had raped her, according to a heavily redacted police report obtained by the Florida Trident. The woman, according to sources close to the investigation, alleged that she and both Zieglers had been involved in a long-standing consensual three-way sexual relationship prior to the incident. The incident under investigation by Sarasota police occurred when Christian Ziegler and the woman were alone at the woman's house without Bridget Ziegler present, the sources conveyed. And now this story about the Zieglers has taken another turn. According to the Florida Center for Government Accountability headline, police have recovered second Ziegler sex video, sources say. Quote, a sex video involving Sarasota School Board member Bridget Ziegler and an unidentified woman has been recovered by police as part of the ongoing criminal investigation of a rape allegation made against Bridget's husband, Christian Ziegler. Sources close to the investigation have told the Florida Trident. Apparently, the woman-on-woman sex video was kept on Christian Ziegler's phone. To be clear, the Ziegler's sexual proclivities are of no interest or threat to me. Whatever works for them is fine. Sadly, they have not said the same about other people. Bridget Ziegler's Moms for Liberty group has spoken out against LGBTQ+ lifestyles and banned related books in libraries. And the Florida Republican Party, which Christian Ziegler led, has supported efforts to ban abortion rights. So the duplicity here is huge. And that's the original point made by Tennessee Republican Tim Burchett at the start of this video. And while the sordid allegations will not strike most people as surprising, there is something humorous about Tim Burchett being the latest whistleblower of sorts. Because Burchett, with his Tennessee twang and unusual obsessions as a character, several months ago he declared the federal government has been involved in lengthy cover-ups of UFOs.
We've seen it. We all talk about it. It's pretty common knowledge among some of the pilots. In certain areas. We've had actually 13 near-miss encounters. And to think that, you know, we've got a $50 million aircraft and some of the best pilots in the world who are risking their lives, why would they lie about it,
right.
honestly? All they're going to do is catch hell from their superiors, and this is ridiculous. And all I want is, I don't want to send the Pentagon another red cent, because that's what they're after. They see the public opinion, people like legitimate media like yourself are covering it. They're going to smell dollars. And, and honestly, the Pentagon loses over $1 billion a year in their audits, and we don't have the guts to do anything about it. We don't need to study it anymore. Just release the files. Just release the unredacted files.
Here, release the UFO files and name names of all the lawmakers who are leading a secret double life in Washington. Transparency would go a long way to restoring some measure of public faith in government. Of course, that would also mean a lot of Republicans would have to come clean and admit their family value stuff is total hypocrisy. By the way, one of Donald Trump's lawyers who keeps helping him lose in court just made a compelling argument for the existence of God.
And I thought, and I'm a religious person, this is God's plan for me.
That is Trump lawyer Lena Haba. And if the Almighty really planned to have this nincompoop represent Trump,
it is God's plan, and I believe in God. I'm a woman of faith.
Amen. Check out that video at the link below. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.